Um, you're welcome to this particular stream, and I remain my humble self, Steve Abraham. So, we're going to dive right into what we have for. Today, we're going to be looking at Python for beginner through gaming, and yes, I welcome you all once again for being part of this section. All right, so. We're going to make this journey very, very exciting, and then exciting, and then like easy to follow. So today we're going to be learning Python, but then using a gaming method. All right, so we're going to be solving problems and learning at the same time. So we are here, which is actually the foundation. This is the starting points, and then today we're going to be learning about strings and integers. So let's continue. So we'll wait for this to load. All right, so here's a list of mission. You can choose any, but our recommendation is to start with the first one. All right, next. All right, so let's begin. Welcome on board. This is your first station. Here you will learn blah blah blah. I think that's it. All right, so today we're learning variable declaration and then value settings. All right, so in this very first mission, you need to help our bunch of cyborgs to make friends. Look at the example in the editor. Declare two variables, robots, droids, and set their values to integers 2, 5 respectively. So robots will be 2, droids will be 5 respectively. If you have any trouble, look at the hints below the description. So when done, try to set values from for variables from the previous paragraph in a single line, like var1 var2 equals value 1 value 2. First variable gets first value, and etc. So while Python remains a dynamically typed language, meaning you don't have to specify types of types for variables, incorporating types annotation, especially in larger projects or when working in a team, can significantly enhance code quality and maintainability. It's worth noting that type annotations are optional, and Python will not enforce strict typing. They serve primarily as a development aid and documentation tools. All right. So for integers, use int type. Try to rewrite the task from first paragraph with type annotation. All right. Okay. So here we're going right into the section we are about to start solving the section, like we're about to start solving the quiz or the code now. So here it says run your Python code and see the result below. All right, then with this we can click to let the system check our solution. All right, so here, okay, we have it already. It says declaring variable and setting their values. Cyborg equals 10. Write your code here. Setting values for variables in a single line. Write your code here. All right. Then it says declaring with type annotation. Cyborg int equals 10. Write your code here. All right. Now let's go back to the top and then read the instructions again. It says in this very first mission, you just need to help our bunch of cyborgs to make friends. Look at the example in the editor. Declare two variables, robots and droids. All right, so now let's go down here, robots and droids. All right, so we have robots and then we have droid. All right, so we have robots and then we have droid. All right, then set their values to 2, 5 respectively. So robots equals 2 and droid equals 5 respectively. Okay, then if you have any trouble, look at the int below. Okay, then 2, when done, try to set values for variables from the previous paragraph in a single line, like var1, var2, value1, value2. All right, setting values for variables in a single line. Write your code here. So at the beginning here, at the top here, you see the way they mentioned it. They said var, and then they had to set it apart with comma, var, and then this equals value like this. All right, so here we're going to say robot, comma, and then we're going to say droid. All right, and then we say equals robot is 2 and then droid is 5. Just as simple as it is. All right, so let's go back to check. And then they said for integers, for int type, are we supposed to set a new value? Try to set values for variables from previous paragraph. Okay, I don't know. If it doesn't work, then we can switch while Python remains. I don't think they're saying anything relating. Okay, so it says for integers, use int type. So try to rewrite the task from the first paragraph with type intonation. All right, so now we are asked to, oh, okay, we have an example here. All right, so here we are asked to like write these in this kind of intonations. They said for integers to rewrite the task from the first paragraph with type intonation, which is this in the type intonation. So that means we're going to say robot, then robot is going to be int equals 2, and then droid is going to be int equals 5. So this is our code. So let's run this, and then let's hope we don't run into an error here. Okay, I think we actually didn't get any error. So check. Okay, it says where is robots variable? Okay, robots. Wait, robots. Oh, robots and droids. Oh, sorry. Robots, droids, robots, droids, robots, and droids. All right. So run code again, and then check solution. And then task solved. So if you finished that, then click to go to the next mission. Next mission, finish. And then now we are going to our next mission here. Go to the next mission. All right, so our next mission says let's introduce 2 new variables named add and multi. Assign them with the expression of sum and product respectively of the previously declared variable robots droids. If you have any trouble, use the int below description. Now utilizing expression enables you to easily modify the value of robots and droid. Okay, later, while ensuring accurate values for add and multi, feel free to adjust robots and droids and then press check solution. If you express add multi correctly, you will still complete this task successfully. All right, now here we are. So okay, so it says take from mission variable declaration and value settings. Okay, declaring variable, okay, robots. All right, then here it says declare new variable for sum and product and setting their values to expressions. Write your code here. So I have to declare a new variable for sum and product. So what was the name? Add and multi. Add and multi. Okay, So let me get this question correctly now. It says, let's introduce two new variables named add and multi. Assign them expressions of sum and product, so respectively. Alright, so the previous declared variables robot and droid. Okay, then if you have any trouble, use the int below. Okay, blah 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 blah. Alright, so we have, what is the first one? Sum, add. Okay, we have add equals robots plus droids. Yep, and that's it. The second one is multi equals robots asterisk droids. Okay, so declare new variables for sum and products and setting their values to expression. Let's run code first. Alright, and then now check the solution. Okay. Alright. Wow, and task solved. So we've been able to solve this second one also. Alright, so you can see Python is actually very, very simple. All you just need to do is comment in the section here, and then just give me a comment in the section here, and then I'm going to take you through on how you're going to be able to like okay, yes, actually I think we deactivated chats, right? Okay, I guess so. So all right, no problems. Well, at least you can look for a means or the other to get right across to us. All right, then we're going to take you through Python, especially if you're a newbie and then you want to learn Python using like playing game. You have to be you want to learn to code in Python, but then you need an easier way to do that. So you can also just use this method where you play the game. You're actually playing game while you're learning at the same time. So today we're just going to do 5 tasks, maybe 5 or whichever way, but at least we should do up to 5 tasks. And this is the second one that we just finished, so we can then go to the next mission. So the next mission says empty function. All right, empty function. So keep in memory your knowledge about variables and operations. With them, let's make a step aside and talk about functions. Function is a block of code that may be used multiple times in different places. Usually, function gets some input data parameters, makes some operations with them, and then return some value outside. In this mission, you need to define a function, func, which takes no arguments. If you have any trouble, see the ints below the description. Your function is also not going to do anything to keep a code expression working correctly. Without doing anything, you need to use so-called placeholder. So you need to use placeholders like keywords like pass or the triple periods operators. All right. So now, not that even if a function returns nothing, it returns the empty value none anyway. All right. Now let's see what task we have here. Says define a function without arguments. Write your code here. All right. So now when they say define a function, pardon me. Now we are asked to define a function without arguments. So in Python already actually, as we've known, uses this word func, as we've been told already. So it says define a function and then define a function without arguments, and then they said a function is not going to do anything to keep a code or expression working correctly without doing anything. You need to use a so-called placeholder. All right, and then now to solve this, pardon me. let me what's wrong with this thing here? Okay, all right, I'm back. So it says number one, define a function without arguments. All right, now to define a function without arguments on Python is just very easy. So what we need to do is we have a way of defining a function. All right, we have a way of defining a function. I think the best way to define a function, actually, this is how we define a function in Python. All right, then we can say define a function. I think it's called func, right? And then we can just do this. Apologies. So I can say def func and then just close this like this. So but then how do I explain now? All right, so the code block actually, which is the function body, isn't available now. All right, so this is supposed to be a semicolon. So this is now like an empty section, an empty function that is waiting to do something. So first of all, let me run this code and then check. All right, okay, we've not solved the second line. Oh, sorry. Fill the function body with placeholders. Right, all right, it says fill the function body with placeholders, and then we can write our code here. So that's why we actually got this error right here. Fill the function body with placeholder was what we didn't add before. So that's why I said line 6, write your code here. We've not done this particular section here. All right, so now to fill our function body with a placeholder, just as we've said already, we have different kinds of way that we can actually fill it with a placeholder. We have the pass, and which one again? And the 3 dots. So which means I can say, what's that? Okay, someone sends in a message. All right, so we can say this, and then wait, I need to that means we have to call this again, isn't it? Let's recall it. Fill the function body with a placeholder. So let's call our function again, and then we can say okay, without doing anything, you need to use a so-called placeholder keyword called pass. Okay, let's say pass. All right, and then run code again. Let's see what it says. Okay, we can't define same function twice, isn't it? Definition on line 3. Okay, line 7. All right, if we can't, then would this be able to work from here to here? So that means it should be able to work from here to here, since these are comments. All right, let's run the code again. Okay, it's successful this time around. So that means we don't have to reinitiate it. We don't have to reinitiate it again. All right, so now I'm going to run the code, and then we get to preview our solution if it's passed or not. And task solved. So actually, if we remove all these things right here, we should remove this. We're supposed to have the full code like this. Define a function, and then here we're going to have pass. So this is the way it's supposed to be. So, but luckily I was able to grasp that this is what they're trying to do. So since these are comments, actually, and the indentation, like the spacing, is still corresponds with this particular guy. So it's still definitely going to work, because the compiler is just going to ignore this. The interpreter is going to ignore this spacing and all this. So this is the correct way of doing it, actually. Okay, so now that we've passed, we can go to the next one. So that will be 3. That will be problem 3, or should I say question 3? Okay. All right. So now we're moving on. We're continuing from this line. I think this should be 3, or how do we know? Oh, this is 5 already. I don't think so, but looks like this is trying to tell us this is 5 already. Now let's make our function func from the previous mission more useful. All right, so this time around we're trying to make it we're trying to take an argument arg inside brackets. If you have any trouble, say the int below. Run the argument value without any changes using the keyword return. Alright, let's go through this question again one more time. It says, let's make our function from the previous mission more useful. Let it take an argument inside brackets. Okay, if you have any trouble, see the int. Okay, there's no need to read this. If you have any trouble, return the argument value without any changes using keyword return. Okay, taken from mission empty function, okay, which is that last one. Define a function without an argument, okay, which is this that we've done. Then in the above function, add argument arg inside brackets. Return the same argument using the keyword return. All right, so now it says in the above function we should add an argument arg. Okay, so it says we should add an argument arg, which is arg, inside brackets, and then return the same argument using keyword return. All right, so now I don't know if we'll be allowed to still like stretch this down. I don't know if we're still allowed to stretch this down, but then arg here, do we need to write this again? In the above function add, and there is a space in here to do so. So does that mean I will have to call it again? Add an argument. Okay, no, I get it now. In the above function, add the argument arg in the above arg, then return the same argument using keyword return. So which means this is where we're going to return it here. So I'm going to say return, and then I'm going to call arg again. Arg. All right. Print example, print function 3. Okay, that means if this this one that we just solved works, then we should get the mission is done. Okay, all right, 3, the mission is done. Okay, so we later got it, we added arguments here, and then we returned arg. All right, so let's check solution, and then we are good to go. All right, so task solved, and yeah, let's go to the next mission. All right, so I need to check. Wow, this is serious. This is mission 7 already. Wow. Okay. Okay, so we then have here says this is an intro mission, the purpose of which is to explain how to solve missions on Check.io. If you want to know how to get a maximum out of using Check.io, check out our blog from whatever. This mission is the easiest one. Write a function that will receive 2 numbers as inputs, and it should return the multiplication of these 2 numbers. Okay, things is getting sweet here. All right, it says input 2 arguments. All right, both are of type int. Then output should also be int. For example, assert multi2. Okay, like this. Okay, a series of ints will help you understand. Okay, there's no need to read this part. Okay, let's read the question again. It says this mission is write a function that will receive 2 numbers as input. All right. Write a function that will receive two numbers as input, and it should return the multiplication of these two numbers, which means the input will be two arguments and both are of type int, and their output too should be int. All right, so let's solve this. All right, let's solve this. Okay, so here we go. All right. Now says, wait, write your code here. This has been done already. This is done already, isn't it? This is done already. We have multi 2, and then we set them to int. Okay, and then okay, I see where we come in now. All right, I see where we're going to come in now. So it is not supposed to be return 0. This 0 is what you're going to use to trick us. So we're supposed to return a particular output for it. So we are going to return A and then return B. So I'm going to say A multiplied by B, and that's just it. So which means define mult2, then which the first definition is A and it's going to be an integer, B and it's also going to be an integer, then they are set all to be an int. So here return A multiplied by B, because that's what's in our question here that says should return the multiplication of these two numbers. All right, and then so now here it's going to first say example, and then it will print multi 2 1 2. Okay, as that multi 2 3 2 equals 6. And the first mission, I don't want us to tamper with this one in this section here. So this is just the trick that's actually waiting for us here, and then says it is done 2. So which means it's returned A and B. So here it was able to set 1 to A, set 2 to B, and then here we set A, then we set this, okay, we set 1 to U, set 2 to U. So 2 times 1 is 2. All right, and then this should be 3 times 2 6, 0 times 1 0. Okay, so check solution, and it's actually done. We've already seen the code already, so task solved. Now we can actually say we are done with this particular section, and then we actually passed. So now now that we are done with this particular section, it says, well, definitely not a simple solution, but I have learned of the operator model and all it has now. So thanks for the solution. So someone used operator to solve is here, from operator import mul and mul2, right? All right. So yeah, so that's it for these are other ways other people's solved theirs. So we just do it the simple way, because we are actually just learning. We are newbies, so we don't have to look at the way this other like the other people actually did theirs. So it's still the same thing, but everybody's just trying to flaunt their ability, right? Now you can go to the next mission, and if you want to solve it in JavaScript, you can also solve it using JavaScript, but we are focusing mainly on Python. So now for the last but not the least task that we're going to be doing for today's stream. So today we're going to be learning about rectangular perimeter. Okay, so we just want to use rectangular perimeter as an example for learning, like it's just like an additional learning stuff right here. So okay, says this function should take two positive numbers, length and width, as input, and return the perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, says two integers, the integer and then example. There are several examples that has been used to try it out. All right, so how it's used in hierarchical engineering application for calculating the perimeter of building and room, in computer graphics to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle on a screen. Precondition: length and width Which equals to R and O, no problem. All right. So now they've defined a function, rectangular perimeter, length int, and width of int also. And then here we all know the area of a rectangle, which is length times width. Length times width or width times length, whichever way. We just know it's length times width. So return O also is going to be what? Just length and then times width, and then that's just it. That's just what we need to do. So here we're going to assert it. We're going to assert 2 and 4, then which means to be 2 times 4. 4 times 2 should give us 8. 4 times 2 should give us 8, but here we have 12. Okay, 3 times 5 should give us 15, but we're seeing 16. Then 10 times 10 times 20 is giving us 60 here. All right, so rectangle, how do you input to return the perimeter of a rectangle? All right, okay, we are going to solve all around. No, even if we are going to solve all around, this is width and this is length. So, and then this is the perimeter. Okay, we're going to solve for perimeter. Return the perimeter of a triangle. Sorry. Perimeter of a triangle is going to be length. So it's going to remain length. So how do we put this out? So return length times okay, let's do it. I think we can solve it whichever way we want, right? Okay, so I'm going to return length. Okay, let's see if I can do this. All right, so before here I'm going to say, now here we know that we're supposed to add everything, so I'll say length. No, I'm going to say the width or the length. Yes, length equals, no, can't be length, it needs to be another variable name. So ans answer is equals length. Okay, so length times 2, answer equals length times 2. No, if it is length times 2, it's going to be length plus plus, or length plus length. Length plus length. Sorry. Length plus length. And then I can have another variable here, and I'm going to call it let's say answer 2. And then answer 2 is going to be width plus width. All right, and then I can say length plus length, width plus width, and then here I can say my return is going to be ans plus ans2. All right, so initially the way what we are supposed to bring out when we are solving for perimeter is, let me add a sorry, my goodness. All right, so what we are actually meant to do here is solve for perimeter, and perimeter is actually going to be plusing the all 4 sides. So let's use this one as example, 3 and 2. So it's going to be 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. So here I said length plus length, so that's 3 plus 3 already, and then width plus width, that's 2 plus 2 already. So you can still say 3 plus 2 plus 2. So here after saying 3 plus 3, so 3 plus 3 is already 6, right? So this is 6 right here now, and then here width plus width, so this is width plus width, and then this is already 4, 6 and 4. So 6 plus 4 is 10. So here now I'm now saying return 6 plus 4. So that's just the trick behind how I. All right. think it's successful. Okay, no. Length. My God. Where did you get your age? Now run code. This time around, for sure. Yes, and that's it. 10, just as we've proposed, just as we've guessed. So let's check the solution. And yes, it is successful. So thank you all for staying to the end of this section, for learning to code on Python while playing game. So this session is still going to continue again tomorrow. And yes, it's nice having you guys around. So at least we've been from level 0 to level 12 in a row. And let's see other ways people actually solved theirs. Okay, this person said lambda AB, then lambda AB. Just did it in one single straight line. This is going to confuse beginners. Well, everybody's trying to be creative, sha. Then how did this person did it? This person multiplied everything times 2 automatically. Yeah, this works. It's actually very interesting. Okay, let's see this person. I hate it when you just start complicating things just to solve something simple. There's no way a newbie is going to understand this. So let's just leave what actually works too, and I think that's all. And if we want to view more, we can, and that's it. So thank you all for sticking by till the end of this session, and I remain my humble self. And just so you know, this particular session, like this particular section, was actually just for Python beginners. And if you need access and someone to guide you through this gaming while coding journey, just let me know and I'll reach out to you. So once again, thank you for sticking in till the end of this particular session, and I'll see you in the next stream.